record the lecture, and then okay, share my screen. Then wait, that still sharing issue may be there. Okay, I think you can see the screen now. No? Okay, circuit theory. Okay. This one is not like the digital electronics module, but with the digital electronics module, we are talking about electronics. Then two side of electronics, the one is analog electronics and the other one is digital electronics, and we are covering those two topics with that module. But again, when it comes to circuits, there also we are discussing about circuits, and digital circuits are there, analog circuits are there, whatever the circuits are there. But when we say it's a circuit, okay, what do you think about a circuit? What are the circuits that you have seen? It may be that when you look at your room that you have electrical bulb, then you have a switch. Very simple circuit, and power is coming, and to the power line we have included a switch there, and from this side the main power is coming, then we have included a switch like that. Then this is electrical bulb and this neutral wire. A very simple circuit. This is a connection wire, and here we have switch, here we have bulb, and couple of connectivities, and one switch and one bulb. This is a very simple circuit. This is a circuit. And not only this, that when you look at circuits, I think you have seen certain circuits that you have your mobile phone, you have your laptop or desktop or whatever the thing, and your home front you might have the TVs and radios, and different things are there, different gadgets are there. Then the different type of circuits we can see. The circuits may be starting from very small to moderate kind of things, and very advanced circuits may be there. But for all these circuits, and when you look at all these circuits, we can find some common things. Okay, then what are the common things we can find there? The elements of the circuits. So what are the elements of the circuits? You can see components are there, and connection wires are there. Basically, you can identify these two things, and we say that the different components, you can name those things: the resistors, capacitors, diode, transistors, ICs, and switches, bulbs, relays, like that. The different components you can name, but generally we can see certain kind of components are there to do different uh, activities to give different functionalities to the circuits, that we have certain components, and to connect those components in between those things, and we have connection bias. Okay, then when you connect all these things, that the circuit is completed, but circuit is not working until you give power. Okay, then the main elements of circuits may be the components and circuit bias as they are, but until you give power to the circuit, circuits are not working. Then if you give power, then only circuits can work. Okay, then power is another thing we have to discuss. When we talk about circuits, the element of circuits are the important things that we have to discuss about components, and we have to discuss how to connect those things and the connection in between those components. And after finishing the circuit, the next thing is we have to power up the circuit. Otherwise, that we cannot take the functionality of this one. Then the top circuit, that we have switch and bulb, but nothing to do with the switch and bulb if you don't have main power. This live wire and neutral wires are there, that if you don't provide this power, here it may be the commercial power available to our home front, the 230-volt AC. If we don't provide this one here, then no point of having this switch or bulb like that. Then when you apply this power, the circuit, so the circuit cannot understand the letters and other things and everything that they cannot understand, but circuit can understand only applying power. After applying power, then voltage is there. When the voltage is applied, current is there. Okay. Then when you talk about these things, then this voltage is coming and current is there. Then after applying certain kind of current, okay, then power is generated within the component. Then sometimes the component itself is having some kind of power consumption, and circuit, the altogether the circuit might have certain power consumption. The power is there. Okay, when you have this power for a certain period of time, then another thing is coming, that is energy. How much of energy we need to power up a circuit for a certain period of time, and those are the physical parameters we have to talk about. Actually, we are going to discuss about those things. Generally, these are the things we are going to discuss under this circuit theory. But again, I have to tell you that we are not going to discuss this any kind of advanced electronic circuits, and we are just dealing with some kind of the very basic circuits. Then you can relax that you don't have much more time to do those things, and you are not going to understand that very difficult theories and some kind of the things and the very basic things, the fundamentals we are going to discuss. And if you know the fundamentals at any time, you can go beyond that. Okay, so that our focus is the fundamentals, and we are going to learn most of these things. Actually, uh, in your lifetime, and when you go to the different classes in different levels, you have covered those things, I think, many times. And for example, the very simple thing, Ohm's law, V equals I into R. I think you have used this one many times in your lifetime to solve different problems. And like I said, we are going to discuss those things again and again. Sometimes that we are looking those things in the different angles, and sometimes that we are going to summarize all these things and extracting certain things, whatever the things useful to a subject. Okay, those are the things we are going to discuss. Is it okay? Then when it comes to this voltages and currents, okay, then you have voltage and current. Then Have you heard that when you apply certain voltage, okay, what are the voltage sources? For example, I can draw a small circuit now. Uh, Now, this is a battery. Okay, it's a battery, and this is a resistor. Okay, you can put certain values here. The battery may be uh, 12 volts. The resistor may be 10 ohms. And when you apply this 12 volts power here, the voltage here, as a result, there may be current going through this resistor. Okay. Then to indicate that we can mark this I is going this way, and then we can find I also. You can find because you can find this I because from this equation V equals IR, you know V, you know R, then easily we can find I. Okay. But one other thing you can notice here, but to tell you about this one, to do some work regarding these circuits, okay? When it comes to circuits, we have to draw the circuits first. Then when you apply this voltage and current, then when you apply this voltage, there is a current generated because of this voltages and some other, the rest of the components in the circuit. But anyway, you have to represent a circuit there. You have to draw a circuit. To draw a circuit, what you have to use? The real components are there in the real circuits, real components are there. But in this type of circuits, we have to have a drawing. When you draw a circuit, to represent those components, we need some kind of circuit symbols. Okay. Then when you have these things, components, for these components, we need circuit symbols. I'll share another screen, maybe the slide set I have prepared for this one. Okay. Now can you see this? You can see. Then okay, these are the circuits I think from very simple to this one. The circuits may be electrical circuits or electronic circuits, so whatever the circuits may be there, but whatever the with this, whatever the circuits that we have this type of component. As I mentioned there, you can see that the complicated circuit diagrams are there to show that different the components and anything. Then to draw those diagrams that we have used symbols. Okay, with the next slide you can see, and these are the different symbols we are using to draw the circuits, resistors, capacitors, and speaker, antenna, bulb, buzzer, and digital gates. You know all these things and different type of switches and transistors, diodes. Like that, the different type of symbols are there. Is another set of symbols. Okay. Then again, when we talk about the circuits, okay, we have this. We can component. For these components we can divide into two groups: active components and passive components. And we are using the circuit symbol to do this one. And when it comes to this passive and active components, what do you think about those things? Okay, here the components are there. Then we are having circuit symbol to draw this one. Then we can divide these components into two categories. One is active and passive. Okay. Then what are the components that having these active features and what are the components having these passive features? And if we divide this one into two categories, under the active category, what are the components we can list? With the passive category, what are the components we can list out there? How do you divide these things in these two categories based on what? Which one is active, which one is passive? Okay. If I write some components here, then resistors are there, capacitors, inductors, and maybe relay, maybe transistor, and diode, and some ICs. Likewise, that I can mention several component types. Okay. Then what about the resistor? Resistor is going to which category? Is it active component or a passive component? No, can you see? Okay, sorry that I couldn't share this one again. Okay. Now, when you talk about these two categories, okay, without wasting our time, that if I put resistor here, then can you have some idea about the resistor, capacitor, inductor? They are coming under this category. And if you put transistor, diode, and IC, they are coming under this category. Then what is the simple explanation behind this? For these active components and passive components, and we have that the theoretical explanation, but the definition also. But anyhow, that we can have the simple understanding regarding these things. How can we divide this one? For example, if you take a resistor, using a multimeter, you can measure the resistance. Then when you take a capacitor also, certain capacities they are in with different capacitors, they are having different capacity values. For the resistors also, they are having different resistance values. Inductors also having the different inductors. Then when you measure those parameters with a meter, then you can see that the parameter value is there. Okay. Then assume that you have a 100 ohm resistor. Then you are soldering that resistor into a circuit. And after that, you can lift out that one leg there. You can measure the resistance again. That resistance is there. And after putting that resistor inside the circuit also, that resistor is having its own resistance value. Okay. Whether it's outside circuit or the inside circuit, it doesn't matter. The component is having its own resistance value. But when you look at this transistor or diode, you can check a diode whether the diode is working or not. But to take the functionality of the diode, you have to put that component into a circuit and you have to power up the circuit. Until you give the power to those components, they can't provide that expected functionality to the circuit. But resistors and capacitors, those components are not like that. Whether they are having power or not, they can introduce their characteristics to the circuit. It doesn't matter. Okay. Then some of the components are there. If they don't have power, they cannot have the functionality. But some other components are there without having power. It's having its own characteristics. Then based on that, we can divide these components into active components and passive components like that. Is it okay? Okay, then again, when you come to this one, in the circuits are then we can draw the circuits and we know the symbols and everything. And again, we are coming to this one. Then after applying power, we have voltages and current, power, energy. Okay. Then if you take voltage, what type of voltages we can use to power up the circuits? Have you heard about this one, the DC voltage and AC voltage? Then I think if I take a 12 volts battery, Okay, then it's a 12 volts battery. Then this 12 volts battery can provide all the time this 12 volts. And when you apply this 12 volts to a circuit, whatever the circuit is here, it doesn't matter. Here we have a circuit and we are applying power to this one. Then we can draw the waveform of this one, the power waveform, and over a period of time, this 12 volts is there. This constant voltage over the time is zero, and after certain time also, you can see the 12 volts value is continuously, the battery is providing that. Okay. Then is this battery is a DC or AC? It's a DC. Okay. Okay. Then we are saying DC because that we know that some kind of the power sources are there, like AC. Okay. Then what is the difference between this AC power and DC power? Okay. This is one graph. Okay. This is a one graph. This is a DC voltage. Okay. Can I draw different graphs like this? You can tell me that which type of voltages are this? This one. The third one. This is volt. Mm, Okay. Can you write down that which waveforms are AC, which waveforms are DC? 2, 3, these are 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8. Which are AC, which are first? Can you focus this one? 1 to 5. First one is DC. I have mentioned it. Then can you write down about 2, 3, 4, 5? And then look at this 6, 6, 7, 8. Okay. This is we have written down this one. This is DC voltage, and this one also DC voltage, and this is AC voltage. This is AC voltage, and this is DC voltage. Okay. Before we go into the next screen, okay, shall we try to identify the difference between this AC and DC? This DC waveform is always, this voltage is in positive side. The value is positive. This voltage is all the time it's positive. But here, one time it's in positive side, another time it's in negative side. Okay. Then this waveform is having positive voltages and as well as negative voltages also in different time periods. Here also is positive, negative, but this one only positive. Because of that, this is DC. Here also only positive DC. And this one, so it doesn't matter, it's having regular shape. It doesn't have regular shape, but it's one time it's positive and negative. Because of that, this is AC voltage. And this one, all the time it's in negative side, but it doesn't cross the zero line and it doesn't have positive values. Because of that, this is DC voltage. This one, although its shape is square, it doesn't matter. It's all the sometimes it's in positive side and negative side. Because of that, this is DC voltage. Okay. Then it's very clear that we have voltage sources. And when you have this voltage, we have DC and AC voltages. And when you provide current, when you provide this voltage, then as a result, we have this current, but again we have DC and AC currents also. Okay. Then we have talked about this DC voltages as well as AC voltages. As a result, that when you apply DC voltage to a circuit, the DC current may be there. And when you apply AC voltage to a circuit, the AC current may be there. Okay. Again, shall we go back to our slide set? You can see that. Here you can see the green color line is the voltage. This one. This green color light is voltage, and this is current. And when you have a circuit something like this, and you have a circuit, and you have battery, and resistor, and this is your DC voltage. As a result, you may have IDC current. Okay, you can see that the voltage is a constant line and current is a constant line. But when you have a circuit like this, the same type of circuit, but your voltage source is AC voltage. Okay, then your voltage source is AC voltage. Okay, then if you have the AC wave, then this VAC, as a result, you may have AC current. Then this is the AC voltage, and this is AC current. You can see that the same shape may be there, but the different values because that they are in different scales. But you can see that because of this resistor, it's following the same shape. Yeah. Okay. Then it's because of this one. This resistor is there. But if you have a different circuit components, the capacitors, maybe the inductors also like that, then they might have the different waveforms. But I am not going to discuss those things under the circuit theory. And we are going to discuss this AC voltages and DC voltages, then AC currents and DC currents also. But we are not going to discuss the effects of the capacitors and inductors also. We are discussing resistors and some other components. But anyhow, we should be able to understand the difference between the effects of these DC voltages and AC voltages. And when you apply those DC voltages and AC voltages, and what is the effect of those to the circuit, those things we are going to discuss. Okay. Then I think when it comes to this AC voltage, it's not like DC one. With the DC one, you can see all the time it's a constant voltage is there. But this AC voltage is something different. It's like something. Then here we have this AC waveform. In this AC waveform, you can see that it's a periodic signal. Because of that, it's having a starting point and ending point also. Then from the starting point to ending point, this is the period. Okay, this period we can put periodic time. This is T, and this wave you can see the zero voltage is there, and maximum yeah, there was that.